What's up, everyone? This is the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast. Well, excuse me, as I hit puberty there. Coming at you Sunday evening. We took about a month off. We had a few things going on, Europe being part of that. But we are back now for whatever episode this is at this point. I think we're still in the double digits, haven't hit triple digits yet. But anyway, I'm Graham Powell on this screen. That's Michelle Zingler. Let's say what's popping, Michelle.
What's poppin', Michelle?
A few things here and there. Before we get going, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Tough Runs Don't Last podcast is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the one-of-a-kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice, screenshot your results as proof of completion, submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your reward will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section while you're there for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, the Tough Runs Don't Last podcast, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X at TR Don't Last. Okay, so when we had our last episode, also, if you hear this noise going on in the background, that is the air conditioner. Sorry about that, but it's August and we want to stay cool for this and comfortable. Maybe make better material out of it. I don't know. But either way, apologies for the noise, but it's what it is. We want to stay cool. Anyway, we were getting prepared to go to Europe before we did our last episode. Here we are back. Describe the Eurotrip, Michelle.
Well, it started off on quite the adventure. So we flew out of Chicago and we made it about 45 minutes into what was going to be like an 8.5-hour flight. For them to come on the overhead speaker and say, hey, we are actually going to be diverting back to Chicago because the ovens were smoking.
I don't think they knew that at the time.
No, they did say it was the ovens were smoking in the back galley. And they said it's an electrical issue and they flipped the breaker for the ovens, but we have to go back for safety. So we get back and we are told basically we're there for another 6 hours while they are going to get us a new plane. It was a while.
It was a while because we didn't fly out till like 11 p.m. or something like that.
So
I think it was actually about 11:45 that we actually flew out of Chicago.
But they told us we were getting a new plane. And so we get onto the new, what everyone believes is the new plane. But we got a new crew as well because our other one timed out. And this captain thought that it would be really good for us to know that we are actually back on the same plane. And the mechanics had looked everything over and it turned out it was just, they hadn't cleaned the oven. So there was some food that was stuck and was smoking basically, but they turned those ovens off. So just be patient with meal service because it's going to take longer. But in reality, what that meant is we all just got cold food.
Yeah, the food was cold. It wasn't as good as it normally would have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cold. The entree was cold. But it's what it was. The flight was, and it was also turbulent.
Yes.
On the first 40-minute trip and back.
Yeah.
It was more turbulent. It was not the second time. It was very smooth the second time.
But we then landed in Rome and we got to spend 3 days in Rome. We then went to, I'm going to just kind of briefly overview because he's going to have some specifics about these places.
Come on.
Yep.
Okay.
But we went to Rome, spent 3 days there, and then we went to Switzerland. Spent 2 days in Switzerland, technically. Then we went to Paris for 2.5 days, and then finished it off in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam.
Spent the last day in Arnhem mostly.
We weren't even in Arnhem, though. We were in a village outside of it.
Yeah, true. But yeah, we spent a day in Amsterdam basically. Like we spent the actual day in Amsterdam, like in town. The second day my brother and niece went back into Amsterdam.
They did.
But we did not. We
No.
hung out at the hotel. I ran on the treadmill there at the hotel, and which was a really nice hotel.
It
was more modern. And by more modern, I mean a modern hotel. It was we were near the airport, so it was
a
very
Marriott, basically.
yeah, pretty much, or yes, yes, not pretty much yes. So I ran on the treadmill. It was pretty cool. That was my last workout while there. I got 4 workouts in that week.
You
So I
did.
was pleased with myself there. But that last run was cool because I was on the treadmill, but there was just a whole glass wall in front of me where I could see everything outside. And there were these 2 sheep that came up and were just walking around grazing in front of me as I was running. So that was pretty neat. There was a walk and bike path out in front of me, and I would have run on that, but my stomach was a little messed up the last couple of days. So I did not bother. I needed to be on the treadmill and make sure I was where I knew I could get to bathroom if needed. I did not though, so it worked out. But there would have been a lot more pressure had I tried to venture onto the bike path there.
Yes. For sure.
Now we started in Rome. I did run. Okay, the first time I went to Europe was 2.5 years ago. And I had brought running gear and shoes and everything, thinking, yeah, I'm going to get my workouts in while I'm here. It was also cold out, it was winter. So I had that going against me. But I did not run a single time during that time I was in Europe. And I was gone for about the same amount of time. Did not run a lick. This time I made it a point. I was like, I'm going to get 3 runs in both of these weeks that we're in Europe. I got 2 in at Rome. I went at like midnight one night.
Yeah.
The first night was I went at midnight because we had a hold at 1. Rome is very hot this time of year.
Yes.
It's the Mediterranean. It is very hot. So during the day it was quite warm. Fortunately, we had AC in every place that we stayed, so we were comfortable. Pretty much, or we were comfortable the whole time. Paris, I'll get to that in a second. But I ran at midnight in Rome, which, by the way, the city is beautiful. It's clean. Rome was very clean. It was very safe. The police there do not play, which I love. If you act right, you're not going to have any problems. If you don't, they're going to give you some problems. And everybody was on their best behavior, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was very safe. Running at midnight in the middle of Rome, I didn't feel the least like worried about my safety or anything. Now, I mean, I can handle myself. I'm a grown man. But still, you have it in the back of your mind to be alert about certain things when you're out on a nightly run. And I know it's times 10 or 20 if you're female. But being a grown man that can handle himself if he needs to, I don't have those worries, but I still have it in the back of my mind. Okay, I might need to take care of myself if something goes down, if I venture down this path. I did go down a couple of back alleys, but where I was naturally more alert because I'm like, I don't know this area, and I'm going down a back alley. And I came across a couple of people, but none of them were at all menacing. They were just going about their business, you know. It's Rome, it's a big city. And so I really liked running in Rome. The second time I ran in Rome, I made the mistake of going and getting a coffee late at night just because I want the coffee portion sizes there are quite small.
Because it's mostly espresso.
Yes, it's basically is espresso with a splash of something else. But I did have one coffee at this one place where he took that what they call cream of coffee, which is a frozen coffee blend, and he mixed it with a shot of espresso and some actual I don't think it was milk. I think it was
Cream.
just liquid cream. But if you say cream over there, they're going to put whipped cream in it. So I don't know what he did, but I did like it.
Mhm.
And it was small. So I thought, yeah, I could have one at night. It's going to be fine. So I go and I have one, and I was wide awake all night. I was sleeping next to her. She was sound asleep. And I just got on my phone. I was like, I can't sleep. I'm just going to watch YouTube till I get tired. And I was watching like YouTube Vice episodes. And before I knew it, it was 5 a.m. and the sun was starting to come up. I said, well, I need to get a run in. I might as well go now
Yeah.
before it gets hot. So I put my running gear on, then I went for a run. And I think it was 6 a.m. is when I went out. And I ran for like 6 miles, I think it was, pretty close to it. I think it might have been 6. I can't recall. But I ran along the walk and bike path there in Rome. The first time I ran was more of a scenic route. I ran near Vatican City. I ran to the middle of that big square area, or circle, whatever it was. It wasn't really a square.
Yeah, and it was just it's a plaza. It's a popular, famous plaza in Rome. I don't
Yes.
remember what it's called.
Running around there at midnight was very neat. But that morning I elected to go along the walk, bike, run path, and where I could move faster, because running around, taking the scenic route was like a 9.5 minute pace, pushing 10 at times. So I was like, I want to go a little faster. So I went down the stairs, the long staircase, and then just ran along that path till it was time to come back. Good experience running in Rome. Then we went to Paris. I ran twice in Paris.
Mhm.
I think the second time was on a Monday or something like that.
Yeah.
But I was more so worried about Paris having to stop and go a lot. I did not have that problem in Paris. It was because it's big enough that as you're running, you can look to the side, look left, right, straight, whatever, and you can see streets that aren't near as busy, and they could go for half a mile in one direction. So I was like, let's venture this way. And so I think one day I had like an 8.5 minute, or probably like an 8:40 pace one day, or the first time I ran in Paris. So it was a good experience. Going back to the Paris thing, talking about the hotel and being in AC, it was warm our first day there. It was 24 degrees Celsius in our bedroom, which I don't remember, 75. So it said, yeah, it said that's 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 75.2. And that's not comfortable for us to
No.
sleep in, especially when it
was 90 degrees outside,
it was warm.
coming back into 75 degrees. It was very uncomfortable.
It's better, but you're not comfortable. You want to walk into, we're 70-degree people in the house. So I was YouTubing how to override it.
Because that was the lowest it would go.
Yeah, because they had it programmed downstairs.
Yeah. So we were trying to figure out, can we basically jailbreak the hotel thermostat?
Yes, we tried. It did not work. And then finally, I just said, I'm just going to go down there and talk to them and see if they'll bump it down for us. So I go down there, and we also needed toilet paper. I said 2 things. One, can we get some more toilet paper? I let him go and just get the toilet paper, hand it to me. I said, thank you. I said, merci beaucoup. Do. And then I was speaking English because he could speak English very well. So I said, which they all pretty much can in Paris.
Yeah.
Or not everyone, but someone's going to know English, and he did. And I said, is there any way we can turn our thermostat down, or get our thermostat turned down to cooler temps? It's warm in there. He said, yeah, absolutely. And he just goes over and he asked my room number. He goes 19, and I knew like 19 was
obviously
at least
cooler.
70. I knew it was at least 70. I said, yes, that would be great. And I was like, merci beaucoup. I did say that, I remember. And we go back, and You kind of had the look on your face like you're expecting disappointment
I
when you walked in.
I was.
And I walked in, I don't remember what I said. I was like, we did it, or like, we got it. And you were so thankful. You came over and kissed me on the mouth.
I was so happy because I have my medical conditions. I'm on medicine that makes me more sensitive to heat. And so I'd already had a couple of days where it wasn't great. Like I had to leave things early because I was getting overheated. I cried at the Coliseum because I was so hot. So
I can't emphasize this enough. Rome is hot.
it was so hot.
Yes.
And so it was just one of those things, like knowing that I was gonna be able to sleep and be cool.
That's the other thing. We did not have an 8-hour night's sleep, I think, any of the times. Maybe the first night in Amsterdam, we were at the hotel.
Yeah, the first night because we had decided we were sleeping in the next day. We had already decided that.
Yeah.
We were like, we're not getting up early. We will go into Amsterdam after and I don't even think we went into Amsterdam until like 2.
Yeah, because I got up to go run, and then you had said like you're basically like, really, like this is our one day we have in Amsterdam, and then I started to gripe about it and get cranky, and I was like, no, she's right, and it was a 24-hour gym at our hotel, so I was like, I'll just run when I get back, and I was beat by the time we got back, but I still made it a point to go to that damn gym and get my run in. So I did do that.
Mhm.
But yes, and so going back to, we didn't get just like a great night's 8-hour sleep any of these nights except for that night. So on top of being hot, we were tired.
Yeah.
So at least we at least wanted to be in 70 degrees, but 19 degrees Celsius is a little over 66 degrees. And it was very comfortable for us the rest of the trip.
Yes,
Or the rest of the time we were in Paris.
we were very happy with that.
And then so we went to, before that we went to Switzerland, but we weren't in Switzerland very long. We basically got to Switzerland at what, 5 p.m.
Yeah,
that
I think
first
it was
day.
even later. I think we didn't get in until like 6.
Yeah. And so we got there and we basically got to our hotel, which was very interesting. It was a very European experience.
It was not a hotel. It was a hostel.
Yes, a hostel.
It was a hostel. So we had private bedrooms, but shared bathrooms and we ended up being on a different floor than his family. So we shared our bathroom with strangers.
Yes. But everything was pretty clean.
It was clean.
And they did a good job of cleaning everything. But it is weird sharing as Americans. It's it's a weird thing sharing bathrooms with strangers. Yeah, when you're at a place you're staying.
Yes.
But it was a good experience for me. Now, I don't think I would have wanted to do that for a week.
No.
But for a couple nights, it was fine.
Yeah.
And our bedroom was comfortable.
Yeah.
So I did appreciate that. I did not run in Switzerland, but we did get to tour Switzerland.
We did like a 12-hour excursion while we were in Switzerland that we went on a bus and went to 3 villages. So we got to see a lot of Switzerland, even though we were only there a short amount of time.
And Grindelwald was the place we stayed at the longest.
Yeah, beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. The YouTube videos that you see of Switzerland or just the reels, etc. It's just as pretty as you see on those. It was beautiful.
We also were in Lauterbrunnen, which is the little village that has the waterfall coming out of the mountain, over the village is the video that you see. And so we were there and we got to see the waterfall was not super strong, like a lot of the videos, but we still did get to see it and it was beautiful. I got to climb up, and I actually got to go up behind the waterfall. The rest of the group didn't make it up there, but I went up there early. So I did get to go up behind it and it was very beautiful.
When'd you go up there early?
I just needed to get away and kind of be by myself for a little while. We'd been spending a lot of time together. And so I needed a little
Michelle
break.
was mad at me. You can just say it. You were mad at me.
I was very angry and I had to walk away.
She was mad.
And so I climbed a mountain.
So she climbed a mountain. And I hung out with my mom and niece and Leah the majority of the time. But we did get over it, or we talked it through and went and
Got
fondue afterwards and got to sit on a patio with the most beautiful view of the Swiss Alps you could imagine. It was pretty amazing.
If you follow either of us on social media, since we don't really post on our social media, we both posted photos from us in Switzerland eating that fondue, and it is picture perfect. We got the best seat in the house at that restaurant for sure.
It was great. You did burn your mouth.
I did burn my mouth, and that I dealt with that until we got home, and it was terrible. I had to go to the pharmacy and get medicine because my mouth was like raw.
Yeah, it was burned. Which is easy to do. I mean, that fondue is hot. So, I mean, you gotta.
It's so good.
It was really good. But
So
you have to let it cool.
So we got deluxe fondue. So their fondue typically just comes with bread. We got deluxe fondue though that came with broccoli, carrots, and potatoes.
Yeah, it's mainly bread, but like just pieces of bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came with broccoli, carrots, and potatoes.
And I am a potato girl, and I thought the potatoes would be my favorite. The broccoli was the winner.
Broccoli was good.
And the carrot was delicious.
The carrot was great. I was surprised by the carrot, but I'm sure they put it in there for that reason.
Yeah.
The carrot was very good. But yeah, I agree with that. The broccoli was my favorite.
Yeah, the broccoli was the winner.
So we did that in Switzerland. Then we went to Paris and did that thing. We did get to ride bikes around town. That was pretty fun. Now it was an electric bike.
Yes.
Say what you want about that. But it was so fun that we are going to get electric bikes at some point in time.
Yes.
Later on down the line.
Yeah.
While I was running today on the bike path here at home, these two guys drove by an electric bikes, and I was like, "That's a good idea. You could ride electric bike throughout this area. Plus, it's a nice day for August 2nd here, which, by the way, happy birthday, Dad. Today is my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday.
I did call him right before we did this, so he knows that I remembered and giving my dad a shout out here. Happy birthday, Dad. Love you. Thanks for all you do for me. Anyway, I wanted to say that. But so Switzerland, Paris, and then we finished off in the Netherlands, Amsterdam, and the Arnhem area. That was a very good time. I did 4 runs that week, the last 2 of which were on the treadmill, just because it was a nice gym, and like I said, my stomach wasn't in the best of shape, so I was like, let's just stay here. I was aware that it would look a lot better to have my Strava run in Amsterdam, running around Amsterdam, but I was more concerned with my stomach at that point. And I already had 2 in Rome and 2 in Paris. And I was like, that's still pretty good. So I just stuck to the treadmill those last 2
And
weeks.
To run in Amsterdam, like really, we would have had to hop on the hotel shuttle, go to the airport, hop on a train to Amsterdam Central. Because we were in a more like rural area. Like there were like cows and sheep.
We were by the airport.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all.
So it's on the outskirts.
That's all you need to know. But there was that bike run path.
There was a bike path.
Like right by our hotel.
Yes.
And that's why I say that. Because I could have easily run 2.5 miles there and back. My typical run's a little over 5 miles. And so I could have easily done that. But with my stomach, I wasn't going to roll the dice. Our last evening in the Netherlands and in Europe was we spent it at our friend Leah's son's restaurant. And
celebrating her
birthday. So happy birthday, Leah. I know we're past it at this point, but shout out to you as well.
Yeah.
And it was basically a tapas type of restaurant with a Dutch Spanish cuisine, I think it was. And it was very good. I very much enjoyed it. You
it
go
was
ahead.
very good until a certain point, and then my stomach could not handle it anymore.
So there was a tartar. I think it was a buffalo tartar on this little bun.
It was on a steamed bun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were colorful buns, so everyone got different colors.
It was a really good sauce. I don't remember. It was some type of white sauce. It was really good sauce. I don't remember what it was, but I devoured mine. Mine was excellent. And in fact, I enjoyed everything I ate. Give us your thoughts on that, Michelle.
So
do you want to lead with your texture?
So
issues?
I do have texture issues. So I can think something tastes good, but if it has a weird texture, I can't eat it. I don't like to feel weird textures. I have a texture thing. And tartar is raw meat. For those of you that maybe don't know, it is raw meat and it is a Dutch specialty. And so I was trying everything. We had raw herring as well, like salted herring.
Salted herring, which I don't like it, but I don't hate it. Like I can eat it just fine, just like we did.
Yeah, so we got it technically twice because we got it once in Amsterdam.
Yes.
And that I did not enjoy. I had one little piece, I got it down. I was like, I'm done.
It's better with pickle.
But Leah's son also made it for us. And it was thinner. It was a thinner piece of herring. And it had like a little sauce and bread.
It was like a rye type of bread under it.
And so I tried it again and I liked it then. It was less of a texture issue. But the tartar, I was like, I'm gonna try it because I'm here. I am an adventurous eater when I am abroad. Because he's gonna be like, no, you're not. When I'm abroad, I do like to try new things. I tried it. I did get it down. And then I promptly ran to the restroom.
And it came back up.
And it came back up. It did not stay down.
Yeah.
So then the rest of the meals was kind of ruined for me because my stomach was then pretty upset.
But it was good. Like the food was good.
The food was good.
And by the way, I ate hers. Like she obviously didn't want it, and I devoured it too because I liked it.
When I came back, my plate was empty.
Yeah, I ate it. I was like, well, she clearly doesn't want this, so I took it and ate it. What was your favorite thing let's say, what was your favorite thing to eat while in Europe? I think I know the answer.
While in Europe.
You can have a sip of your Gatorade. Thank you.
I loved the pasta that we got in Milan. I had like basically a spinach manicotti is basically how that came out to be. And it was the best, it was so good. It was creamy. It was great. It was hot outside and I was eating hot pasta and I did not care. It was so good.
Just glossing over the steakhouse in Amsterdam.
Oh, the steak.
All right, so
that was so good too.
Here was my favorite. So where she's talking about in Milan, I did have as good of a lasagna as I've ever had in my life. The best lasagna I had ever had was at Maggiano's or something. I can't remember the exact name of the restaurant in Chicago. It was the best lasagna I'd ever had. I went there in 2020, October of 2021 for the Chicago Marathon. And that was, I think, night one that we were in Chicago. And that was the best lasagna I ever had in my life. Downtown, north side of Chicago. Amazing. I had the lasagna at this place in Milan. I can't say it was better than that one, but I can't say it was any less either. It was that good. Yeah, it was excellent. But the best thing I ate in Europe, which I did not see this coming, was at and we had the works. I mean, we had the Stroop waffles. We had good food in Paris. We
We
had
had pizza and pasta and
carbonara, cacio e pepe in Italy. Their sandwiches, it was as good of a sandwich as I ever had.
yeah, we had a
That-
really good sandwich
for
at
that-
this mom and pop place.
yeah, for lunch one day. But we had a date night in Amsterdam. And it was after we visited the Anne Frank house, which is, a more somber mood.
Yes.
But we had a date night after that because it was what, Saturday night or Friday night?
Well, this was Thursday night, so it was our last night, like to do whatever we wanted to do, because the next night was Leah's birthday.
Right. Okay, so we went to a steakhouse in Amsterdam. It was close to the Anne Frank house. And she got the chef's choice steak, and it was basically a sirloin, right?
Yeah, but it was
excellent.
it was good. And
There's no but. I like sirloins.
yeah. Oh, it was so good. And it came with in Amsterdam, everything comes with fries and mayo, which the fries were also delicious. They were like steak cut fries, like thick fries. So good.
The Europeans got that right, by the way. I know this is controversial here in the States, or polarizing, whatever you want to say. Mayo is better with potatoes. It's better with fries to me than ketchup. I'm just saying.
It's good. It's good.
It is very good. But yeah, we had that, but I had what was called a grilled pork collar. Not sure entirely why I Googled it, and I was like, so I don't know what that is. So I Googled it and I was like, yeah, I could eat that. So I got that, and that was the best thing I ate while in Europe.
It was delicious.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like braised beef texture, to where it just kind of falls apart in your
Yeah, it
mouth.
just like melted
Yes.
in your mouth.
And it was excellent. That was the best thing I ate
That
while in
was
Europe.
that was delicious.
Like, and I stopped like the woman that sat us.
Yeah.
I said I think I said that's as good as anything I've eaten here. Or I think I might even said that's the best thing I've eaten while I was here. It was so good.
And we just like stumbled upon this steak place. Like we had left the Anne Frank house and we decided we were gonna get we were gonna go straight to dinner and then get a Stroop waffle. And we were just like, we'll stop because they have their menus out so you can look. And so we looked at like one or two places before this one, and we were just like, no, and then we were like, why not? Oh, it was so good.
It was, yeah, great choice by us. It was very good.
Honestly, we did that a few times, just kind of stumbled upon places.
Which is easy to do in Europe, especially a place like the Netherlands, because it's so densely populated. Everything is right there that you would need.
And we only had one thing that we did not like. And that was a place we did not stumble upon. It was a place that TikTok was popular on TikTok. And so, we wanted to go there to try it because TikTok makes us think it's good. And this was in Rome. And that was the one bad thing that we ate.
That was the thing. What we had at lunch, I had as good of a sandwich as I've ever eaten in my life at that mom and pop place in Rome. And then we went to more of a touristy spot in Rome and had that sandwich. It was as bad of a sandwich as I've ever had in my life.
It was not good.
I wish I knew the name of it so that I could talk bad about it.
Yeah.
But it was terrible. Like I couldn't even tear them. Like it was a prosciutto.
Yeah.
I couldn't even break the prosciutto with my teeth. It was just fatty and stretchy, and you couldn't even break it with your teeth. It was terrible.
And I got like it was mozzarella, tomato, and pesto. That's what mine was. Very simple. It was literally a ball of mozzarella that they had not cut. It was a tomato that they had barely cut, but so it was like.
And it was slopped on there.
It was just thrown on there, and then the bread was so hard. Like crunchy and not good.
Yeah. It came across as people that didn't like tourists. So screw them. We're just gonna slop this together and make them pay 15 euros for it or whatever the heck it was. And Yeah, it was as bad of a sandwich as I've ever eaten in my life. I'll go as far as say it was the worst sandwich I've ever eaten in my life.
It was not good. It was
And
not good.
the one we had for lunch that day was
So good.
as good as anything I've ever eaten. That's a sandwich.
Yeah.
And it was made with love, and it was just beautiful. The presentation was
Oh
beautiful.
yeah.
Every bite was delicious.
Yes.
And it was a big sandwich, and I ate that whole thing. It was great.
I only ate some of mine, but you finished mine, didn't you?
I didn't finish it, but I
Okay.
did have some of it. Because I mean, it was a big sandwich.
Yeah, because we brought, and in Europe they're not big on like to go things, and so we literally just wrapped my sandwich up with like the paper between the two of ours so that we could take it back and put it in the fridge.
Yeah, and we were pretty close to where we were staying,
Yeah.
the apartment we were staying in, so it wasn't bad. But all in all, it was a great trip. Very much enjoyed it, but it was good to be home too. We did have to spend the night in the Chicago airport on the way back. That was not fun, but it's what it is. It happens that if you fly enough, it's going to happen to you at some point.
We had multiple flights canceled and had to spend the night, and then had to fly into Tulsa instead of XNA. So it was just coming home. We should have been home at one time. Basically, we got back 24 hours after we already would have been home.
Yes, essentially.
So,
But I don't know if it's quite 24 hours,
like
but
home.
yeah, I mean it was a long time till we
Yeah.
got home. But neither of us had to work the next day, so it wasn't.
Thankfully.
Yeah, I would have been in a not good mood if I had to go to work the next day.
I would have been angry.
But I spent those next 2 days just catching up on the yard, which my yard was a mess in Cabot. It took me all day. I don't know how I finished it all in a day, but it died every other time or got clogged every other time like every few feet I pushed it, and I kept having to unclog it.
Apparently it rained a lot while we were gone.
Apparently,
It did not
didn't rain on
rain
us
on
at all.
us at all until we were in Amsterdam and it sprinkled.
Yeah, it was not much of anything.
Yeah.
Which I was okay with. Which, by the way, the Netherlands, temperature-wise, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think the high was 78.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The night of Leah's birthday, we were sitting out on a patio, and when the sun started to go down, like I started getting a little chilled. Like people were putting on like sweaters, like cardigans and stuff, and I'm like, if I had one, I would have put one on too.
Yeah, I did not. I didn't sweat at all that day, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, a great trip to Europe. Don't know when we'll go back. It's probably going to be a while. There's a lot of our own country that we want to see.
Yeah.
And we just have a lot to do between now and when we can do something like that again. But it was a great experience, great trip, and it's back to States life, Arkansas life. And as far as running wise goes, I get back to racing next weekend. We got the Hope Watermelon 5K. It's part of the Watermelon Festival in Hope. It's a good time. They do a great job with that. A lot of people, a lot of runners, and something's going to go wrong. Something's going to happen at this race because it has the last 2 years I've done it. Something goofball is going to happen because it always does. Whether it's a kid stopping to tie their shoe right in the middle of the herd, or a kid just turning around and running back against the herd, like happened last year, 10 yards into the race. Absolutely nuts, but it happened. I can guarantee you something like that will happen this year too, because it has at least the 2 years that I've done it. But we've got that, and then we've got the hardest race I've ever done. The weekend after next, which is the Scorchin Squirrel 20-miler in Little Rock. It's around the 4-H Center, quite a bit of elevation. Finishes on what they call Hell's Hill, which you have to go up to start to come back down toward the finish area, which is an additional 1.5 miles or 2 miles or so extra that you run after you've done 4 loops around this course. Now you can do 1 to 4. My brother Ben and I had it in our head last year. No, we're doing the 4 laps. And so we did it. And I think I talked to you that day. That was as tired as I've ever been after a run. It was the hardest race I've ever done. So much so that I decided to sign up for it again and go back for this year. And my plan is to do 4 laps. Now, if I get out there and something happens, that's the wonderful thing about it, is I can say, you know what, 2's enough, 3's enough. I can just call it. But I want to do 4 laps, so that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I like the idea of having another 20 miles on my Run Arkansas profile, which is my trail running profile. So I've got that on there on my profile, and I want to do that again. Go back up. I want to see. Michelle is looking it up right now. I was seeing if you could see my picture.
No.
But yeah, I'm actually think I'm in front. I think that is from last year though. And I think I was in front of all of those. Yeah, because I know those, I know that girl. And I believe I was in front of her. So yeah, 1 loop at this race is a 10K. If you do 2 loops, it's 11.5 miles. Loop 3 is 15.5 miles, and 4 loops is 19.5. And you're going to finish over 20 because you have to go up Hell's Hill and then go back down to the site. There is a cutoff. I don't remember what it is. Like you have a time limit. But my brother and I were the last ones to finish the 4 loops for those that did the 4 loops. But there was only like 7 of us that did 4 loops last year. And it was nice having my brother there last year so I could have somebody to talk to during that, because it was not fun to go out. It wouldn't have been fun to go out there solo, but that's what I'm going to do this time because I couldn't talk Ben into doing it with me. Apparently they have Scorchin Squirrel gear.
Yeah, there's like merch. Sorry, I am distracted by merch.
It is okay. It's at Ferncliff.
Yes,
All right.
which is 4-H.
Yeah, it's the 4-H center. I couldn't remember the actual name of it. I just knew it was over by the 4-H center. But I'll be doing that, and our plan is to podcast the next day. So the Sunday after that. So I should be nice. I should be sore, and because I was sore for 3 days after that last year, my legs were just shot. But man, I slept great that night. But anyway, the plan is to be back in a couple of weeks, more of a regular routine from here on. Of course, stuff could always come up for us here and there, but it's what it is. We'll come at you when we can, but we'll have something to talk about in a couple of weeks with the Hope Watermelon 5K and this Scorchin Squirrel 20-mile trail run I'm planning to do in 2 weeks. I'm sure it's going to be nice, hot, but it's well done. That race is well done. There's lots of course support throughout. The volunteers are great, and it's just well done. Everybody's taking care of you and helping you along the way. Are you going to sign up, Michelle? You're going to the registration.
This is the volunteer form. They are still accepting volunteers, it looks like, if you would like to volunteer at this event. So
are you saying that you're going to do that?
I am not going to do that,
okay.
But if you're interested, it's still a move.
Are you possibly going to go out there?
That's a great conversation for us to have, not on camera.
Okay, all right. Well, we will do that probably, but we're going to finish up here and just under 45 minutes for this episode. We were trying to keep it around 40. But I wanted to at least get to 40. We did that. And we covered everything that's been going on between now and the last time y'all heard from us. But we'll be back in a couple weeks to discuss those races and then some. But until then, I'm Grandpa. That's Michelle. See y'all next time.
See ya.